different builds for each javelin. I love making builds. I love games like these. I love Diablo 3, uh, Inquisitor Martyr, any kind of game where you construct a build like this. So for this one, we're going to do a build that I actually just came across that I created to do a legendary mission, and it works really, really well. So I'm gonna stick to it and keep tweaking this build for sure. So this is one of my storm builds. I have 5 other storm builds. These are all different builds using different components, weapons, and skills. So for this one, which I named the Avalanche build, I will go over all the components, weapons, and why I chose them, and then I'll show you all some video on it in action. I'm going to do a Grandmaster 2 Legendary Contract to show y'all how it works. I just did a legendary mission, which is pretty tough. I didn't go down once at all during the mission. We only had one guy go down. There's only 3 of us in the mission on Grandmaster 2, and one guy went down once. Almost went down quite a few times, but I was really just testing the build out, see how it went, and it went pretty well. So I didn't go down. I'm able to do some damage, and let me explain why I'm playing what I play. And I got this during this legendary mission too, this new 10,000 Suns, which I have a build that uses that, so I'll be swapping that out. Alright, so let's start with the components, or let's start with the my main attacks. Let's do that. For the Blast Seal, I'll be using Hailstorm's Renewal. This, what it does, it casts a huge bunch of chunks of ice at the enemies, and I'll show y'all in action. And it also freezes them. And whenever I defeat an enemy, it restores my shield, which is really good for the storm because it's basically a shield build. So while you hover, you have a stronger shield. So, and this rolled pretty good, 17% RB speed, which is my attack, and then plus 100% gear charges, so that's another charge. Then support speed, which I need to do a better job using my support, which is the wind wall. And then the inscription I'm not using is the 20% heavy pistol damage down there at the bottom. So that's one skill, and it's also a primer by freezing them. So whenever this freezes stuff, they are primed and ready for a combo. And for my focus seal, I am using black ice, which, as you see next to this, there's a symbol next to black ice, that little star symbol, which means it is a detonator. And it does a combo effect: chain, hitting enemy freezes others nearby. The inscriptions are too great. Lots of heavy pistol damage stuff, but I'm not using heavy pistol. But it did give me a 28% damage bonus to LB, and a little 10% gear speed, which is always good, and more support speed. So my support skills probably come back really fast, and I should probably use it more often. And if you see my gear, you see I got a lot of Masterworks, and it's a 704 Masterwork Storm and all that. That doesn't really matter. The build will still work the same no matter what level your Javelin is. All these components are based off of, they have a lower base component. So every Masterwork item starts as a common item and works its way up to legendary, if you understand what I'm saying. So you'll see, I'll explain on some of these weapons. Alright, so for my weapons choices, here's why I'm using these weapons. I'm using the Thunderbolt of Yuvina because I'm using 2 ice-based powers. And by having 2 ice-based powers, I cannot take down shields of creatures or enemies that are also ice-based. And they will be listed as like a Dominion Frost Brute or Dominion Frost Javelin. or an outlaw elemental javelin. Those guys, my ice weapons and attacks will not damage their shields. It will do 0 damage. Now, once the shields go down, my ice powers work again. So what I use for shields, and this is just for shields really, but it also, you'll see whenever I play, it does a pretty good bit of damage. Just for that lightning, just to hit shields. And it also has some good speed bonuses for my RB attack, which is not too bad. Cycle of Pain is on here strictly. This is my belief. I don't look up anything or anything like that, but my belief is that those inscriptions there for the 90% shield max and 60% shield max, those apply all the time. I think that's how it works. And like the 50% weapon aim recoil only applies to this weapon when it's being used. Now, I don't know if those other inscriptions for the shields and stuff only apply when that weapon's being used, but I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that's all the time and that's a game mechanic. So, it's really just there for shields. Or not shields, just for my shields, just to boost them up, because they got really good inscriptions. And it boosts my power level since it's a legendary. Okay, but I won't ever use this, probably. I'll be sticking with this. And pretty much only using that when I need to take down shields. Or when I like shooting stuff, which is also fun in this game. Okay, components. Oh yeah, like I was saying earlier though, like for this weapon, you see how it's an upgraded, under optimal range bar right there. It says upgraded scout, basic semi-automatic rifle. So that's the white common version of this gun. And it's all pretty much the same. Except once it gets to masterwork, it gets that has a 33% chance to deal large electrical damage. And it gets 4 inscriptions. So, and the damage and all that stuff goes up. But that's what makes it masterwork. But the build itself will still work as long as you have one of these. I mean, if you don't have a Thunderbolt or Vivina, you need to find a weapon that you can use to take down shields. Because if you're not running with a group, this is for solo. So if you have solo play, this will help you take shields down. Alright, components that I'm using are going to be Token of the Master, just to get the blast damage increased by 35%. And since I'm winter based, or ice based, I'm going to use this one. And you see it boosts my weapon damage by 30%. Which is pretty nice too. This increases my combo chains by 2, which you'll see in action when I do the mission. This gets my gear recharge rate 50% faster. It lowers its damage by 20%, but I'll counterbalance that with some of the sigils and stuff that you can use for the mission. They changed this inscription just recently for this thing. Increases electric damage by 5% and electric effect by 5%. I use that just for that rifle because it does stack with the rifle. But it used to be defeating an enemy with a hit point or a critical hit would give you like 60% increased damage for a little bit. And this one, defeating an enemy increases elemental damage by 40% for 10 seconds. I mean, that's crucial. It's just such a huge bonus. And then it rolled with plus 23% luck, which I can take that. And then I use this one. Increases my elemental damage resistance by 35%. Clearing a status restores 40% armor. Not too bad. It's alright. It'd be nice to get a better one of these. But that is my components, and that is why I'm using them. Alright. And then my wind wall. It rolled with some luck and a little extra damage. I'm not getting good. I try and re-roll these things and craft them, but I am not getting anything good out of that. And I run low on epic components because I burn through them pretty good. Alright, so there he is. He's looking pretty cool. Let's get that cool skull. Hell yeah. Alright. That's a javelin and everything we're going to do. Alright, so let's go to the Legendary Contract. We'll stick on Grandmaster 2. I can do pretty well on Grandmaster 2. And actually, I just realized I had a legendary component I wasn't using last time. But and the same thing with the components as the weapons. I mean, they're all the same as they're lower levels, so the build will still work no matter what level your items are, as long as they have the cool bonuses and stuff. Alright, so for this mission I'm going to run shield bonus. And not really for the strength, but for the regeneration. I like that quick regeneration. My shields are pretty strong. Then for this I'm going to run... Last time I ran, for that legendary mission I ran an epic ice and a rare ice. So you can stack lower level sigils. So if I was super confident in my shields, I could even stack the lowest level common sigil for ice if I wanted to really focus ice damage for some reason, but I don't think I want to do that. What I noticed last time is I was getting freezing from my detonator, which was nice. It was keeping the enemies frozen for a long time. I think it's because if you see for a single expedition, increases ice damage by 20% of base damage, ice stacks applied to enemies by 6% of base stacks. So I've got that one and that one, which does 10% of base stacks. And if they attack me with ice, I'm stacked on resistances. Alright, let's see how it goes. Now, one thing that is frustrating in this is that ice and fire contradict each other. So if you've got a guy who may be running a fire build, which I prefer to run fire builds myself, I'll be putting on some fire builds later. So if I freeze him and then he hits him with fire, it'll melt my frozen. Now I can still combo off of his lighting them on fire, but it's frustrating because he may be playing off totally on fire, so he may be strong fire, so we're like negating each other's damages, if you see what I'm saying. Let's see how it plays out. I can never get lucky enough to not have an opposite elemental, you know? Like a coordinated group would be like, hey guys, let's run all electricity and ice, or let's all run fire and poison or acid, you know, so you could coordinate your attacks and make sure no one's contradicting each other. I think that's how you get to like Grandmaster 3 and being really effective with a group. Or what I do is I just work on all the javelins so I can play them all by myself, because I find there to be a lot of people looking for carries and, you know, going down a lot. I try not to ever go down if I can. Sometimes I get close and sometimes I do go down. Sometimes you're just unlucky, but you know. Alright, oh, looks like I loaded in correctly, got my skin on.
I'm interested in a particular area for research. Can you ensure its safety?
Getting loose.
Check it out.
Let's go. See, on the legendary mission I just did, it was a 3-man legendary mission, so got an interceptor.
Scars are overtaking this area.
Maybe 2 interceptors and me. This could be a lot of interceptor players I see just like, well, I'm an interceptor, of course I go down on time. It's like, well, I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. Alright, so With this build, I can freeze with both and fine. This is my detonators, ice builder. Okay, these guys are good to go. I'll show you the UV on the shield. See how easily it takes that shield out. Yeah, this is like way a deep room. And that's a 2. Link it out of the fire. This spread's frozen whenever it... Oh god, see, and then I get that sometimes. God. And that's the bug that keeps happening to people. See how like when my shield pop, I'm just totally gone? Like there's a bunch of things that are supposed to happen for my gear so that it does not do that. And yeah, it's pretty frustrating. Let's see if these guys are gonna revive me. I hate trying to get revived. Here comes somebody. Yeah, I'm in a great place to get revived, so I don't know why you wouldn't.
This work is getting done.
There we go. I mean, sometimes you just get focused like that. It's really weird. Alright, let's get back to it. See, look at my health bar. It's so small. They should not do that. But my ultimate's very powerful with this build like this too. Just because of all the elemental damage.
Ah, you've emerged victor. Well done.
And it's good having interceptors because they can play off my frozen status too. They're not gonna... I don't know. It doesn't look like any of them are using fire, so that's really good. And I don't think I'll go down again. I think that's just something to lose. I do hope they fix the bugs in this because I do love this game. It's so much fun.
Well, and I have more work for you today. Troubling news for Lancer. A group of Arcanists were cut off mid-sentence as they reported in. Find out what happened.
Oh, that's a new line, huh, Matthias?
Got it. On my way.
Let's clear the area of those monsters.
No problem. So you see, the rifle does pretty good damage with that lightning too.
I'm calling that.
Yeah, interceptors are OP right now. Last time I was playing my interceptor, I mean, damn.
Can you check to see if
I don't even know if I came close to dying. It seems like the opposite of how it should be.
The minion really made it this time.
Oh. I love crafting materials. Dude, I've killed so much Dominion running that legendary mission. Oh, and the Titan. Okay, see, I can still combo all the guys that are on fire with that black ice spear. It's real nice.
Dominion Valkyrie's on alert.
Titan's actually good here. Oh, it disappeared. It will... Oh, we got a 4th man. Nice. It will kill the hell out of these guys. Yeah, I can pretty much keep things frozen in death now. All my skills freeze. Now, I'm hoping to eventually get a nice... that sniper rifle that freezes after 3 rounds. I can't remember what it's called. Siege Breaker or whatever. That would complement this pretty good. The combo damage is where it's at. So instead of running 2 ice sigils, you could also run combo sigil, which might be nice. This combo damage is not
Watch out.
crappy stuff.
Some exceptional work. I'm sure those Dominion can't do this again.
Okay, utilize that as well as I could have. don't get a lot of damage from that ice ball thing. You get a lot of freezing, man. It freezes them for a while. Nice if someone else had a primer, like some acid damage would be perfect for this. That was not interesting. My Ranger has that cool component now where it's got like the hit streak because of the acid damage. Where is this enemy at? Alright. Storm brutes. So like my rifle of Yuvina will not be good against electricity shields. It will not do any damage versus electricity shields. But as you see, my ice does plenty of damage to electricity shields. Man, why am I not just sitting under this? That's so dumb. See, whenever I combo with those interceptors, man, they just do so much more damage. Elementalists can change their shields, so you gotta watch what they're using. You can tell by the color. Combo.
Some exceptional work.
Looks like he's doing
Sure,
freezing
Mr.
too.
Minion can't do this again.
That's nice.
The fight's over.
So you see, I'm not really using my gun very much, but I don't really need
It's
to.
very exciting working with some
Big groups of enemy get crushed. Sucks I went down, but I think that was a fluke. See how I never had, like, it was even close to getting down again? That's just how it goes. Alright. Let's see what the rewards are going to be. That legendary mission I just did, though, I got 2 legendaries. That 1,000 Suns and a frickin' Ranger component. Legendary. I know, a legendary Ranger component that I already had. So, yeah. But we'll see. I love the air guitar one. I got it. I had to get it. It lasts so long. Let's see how I did. Oh, that guy crushed us. Jesus. The guy on the left, No Fear 900, wrecked us, but I'm guessing that's who I was aiding in his freezing and destruction of enemies. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and check me out for some more build videos and build guides and anything Anthem and anything nerd related.